Hi, I'm Shane, aka Nerd Show and Tell, and welcome to my stream. Well, I wanted to start this a little sooner than later, but here we are. Here I am. So, had a little problem with an update for OBS and my HD60 Pro, but worked through it. Here I am. So, back again. I was on earlier today. For those that watch the stream, I was using an HTC Vive with DCS World. Well, if you tuned into the end of that stream, you would realize that I was frustrated with the HTC Vive and DCS World. Its default settings, even tweaking some settings. I had some good help out there from M1 Combat, I think it was. And anyway, I had some help with some settings. It got to look good, but then all of a sudden the frame rates would drop. It looked good in DCS version 2.0, the alpha version, but going back to 1.5, it didn't look so great. So I decided to cut my stream short, about 20 minutes short or so, and decided I would do an encore later, and I'm bringing back the Rift, which I've always been a fan of the Vive and preferred the Vive over the Rift until now. For simulators, I'm just going to stick with the Rift. It just looks better. I pulled up, off stream, I hooked the Rift back up, got it up and running. It looked, after using the Vive all day, the Rift, from looking at things in a distance, there wasn't the screen door effect like I was getting with the Vive. That was with just default settings. Then I cranked up the settings and it performed much better than the Vive did in DCS World. So it just, for the DCS World, I'm sticking with the Vive. I mean, the Rift. I'm sticking with the Rift for DCS World. The Vive I'll use that for room scale stuff. And I even prefer the Rift for Elite Dangerous now. So the Vive's just going to go back on the shelf until I do some room scale stuff, VR stuff, which will be at a later date. And then that's where it shines, definitely, with the room scale tracking and those games. So anyway, I'm going to get back into DCS World. I'm going to go back into 1.5, pick up some crates, build some things, have some fun, and do a little Encore stream. So I don't know how long I'm going to go for tonight. But here I am, and we'll see how far this goes and see how much fun we have. So, here we go. Back to the Oculus Rift and DCS World. Oh, and while I was off stream tonight, I got my chat working inside DCS World, so I won't be taking this up and down every time I get a chat message. So that's a great thing. I've been wanting to get that working. Got it working in both DCS World 1.5 and 2.0, so I won't have a problem reading at least my Twitch chats in DCS World. Now, if you message me from YouTube, because I also simultaneously stream right now to YouTube as well, I'll get notified in my ear, and we'll have to read those manually. So, but I'll still get them. So, back to the Rift. Which also means back to my headset, because that's what I use here with the Rift. Which I like for the noise canceling and everything else, and the boom mic. All that fun stuff. Alright. Recenter everything. Boom! Here we go. Welcome. Those of you who've never joined before, this is my setup. I have total of 4 cameras, room camera back there, joystick, throttle, and webcam. And in VR, center screen, field of view, got it. Okay. So, one other thing I did is somebody also said, well, in helicopters, you should be pulling back to go up and pushing down to go down. You know, the propellers. Anyway, so I switched it. And I flew around just a little bit with the Huey in that configuration. And it took a little bit of getting used to, but I think I got it. I'll find out as I get in here and try to pick up some boxes. So we're going to just go to a multiplayer server here. Ping. There we go. Join. So here we go. Looks like this one got a little off. Just wait for it to load. Everybody's having a good night. I was a little worried I wasn't going to because the streaming software, I took a chance and ran some updates for the stream before I started the Encore stream, and the updates didn't go well. They took, but then my capture card wouldn't work for some reason. Some little twerking around, whatever. I got it working, that's all. So where we are, back into DCS world. This is 1.5 multiplayer server. And I'm going to do some building of things, lifting boxes with the Huey, taking them over around the base. That one not available. There we go. Okay. Here we go. In the Huey. And as I can see, I have my Twitch chat open. I can see it now. Yay. Inside DCS. I don't need to do this all the time now. Oh, do not want to do full screen. All right. So I'm not even going to bother with the frames per second counter because I'm pretty much sure this is all working fine. I'm just going to start up this helicopter. Shut my door. Start this thing up. Actually, before I start this thing up, no, I'm just going to be doing crates. I won't load up with weapons or anything. So crates to start. I'm doing the automatic startup right now just because, just to get up and going faster. As I practice, some jets taking off. Oh, that one's not doing so well. A rocky start for that guy. Look out the window. Yeah, he was he had to abort his takeoff, and I think he's missing a wing. I'm pretty sure he's missing some parts. Maybe not. Switching through. Well, that's him. See, that's my helicopter over there. Starting up. And this is this guy who just had a rocky start of a takeoff. He might be coming in to get some repairs and try again. Yep, everything looks green. With the light. I forgot. Put my throttle there. I reversed it so that I have to pull back on this throttle to get the collective, you know, to take off and to push it forward to descend. So I switched it. This is the proper way that helicopters do it, is back and forward for slow, whereas airplanes are, you know, and jets are different. You go full, you know, back and then full throttles forward. So it takes a little getting used to, and if I'm switching back and forth between helicopter and plane, that could get a little crazy. All right. Here we go. Oh, looks like that guy's trying to... Nope, that must be his friend coming in for a landing. Alright. looks like we're ready. I'm going to turn off my master caution. All set. So we can have a little fun here. We'll just dome lights. We'll position lights. So that's bright. Collision lights. Why not? We'll use all the lights. You can see the lights on now. All right, here we go. Pedal's working. Like I said, I just reversed this tonight to pull back for... But it's, yeah, see, I was almost doing it wrong right there. There we go. I'm going to go over here, and what we're doing here is going to go over here, request some crates to build some anti-aircraft. I missed it. Yep. Definitely need to get used to the throttle now. Okay. But getting these crates is like one of the best ways to practice your hovering and your throttle and everything, because it really takes a lot of control. Slow down here, baby. Back up a little bit. Oh, see, I tried to go up. Good enough. We landed it. All right. Whew. So, now what I'm going to do here is request. Nope, I already don't care about that. We'll do F10 for other. We're doing CTLD, so you can see there. Yep, everything's good. F4, CTLD. What we're going to do is AA crates. And we're going to try to do this Avenger, which is M1097 Avenger. What this thing is basically a Humvee with anti-aircraft missiles on top of it. It requires 3 crates. So, I tell you what, we'll come back to that. We're going to do just a Stinger. And what's funny about this crate is, as you can see, the crate appeared in front of me. What's funny about this is basically what this is, it just ends up being a guy with a Stinger, mobile Stinger rocket launcher on. So basically there's a guy with a Stinger rocket launcher inside that crate when you think about it. But it's just a funny game mechanic. So what I'll do here is I then hit this F6 for all cargos, and it's 110.25 pounds is what that crate is. And I select that. That tells me, hey, look, there's the crate. So now I know that that's the one I'm going to go hover and pick up. So let's do this, which is easier said than done. So the goal here is to get, whoa. Okay. Let me get reoriented here. So my goal is to get above this thing and pick it up with my tow rope. Which, if you look up here, it'll tell me when I'm hovering above and when I've gone beyond the hovering zone. So this is a challenge. But like I said earlier, this... Oh, crap. Somebody just got shot down. Hopefully that isn't going to be me. So this, like I said earlier, is very challenging, but it also helps you practice hover. And as you can see, I really need some practice, especially with just reversing my throttle. I spent all day yesterday doing it one way, and now I have to relearn this throttle mechanism again. So come on. Bam. Deep breaths, people. Deep breaths. They make it look real easy in the movies. Okay, nice and easy. Nope, I drifted. I could feel it. So I keep pulling back to go down when that makes me go up. So what we're going to try to do here, come back for another pass. Careful with the throttle. Okay. Oh, I did it again. I pushed down instead of up. Oh, man. See, you shouldn't learn it one way and then reverse your controls. But I did want to have it the way it looks. So if you look like... Alright, stop spinning. Let me just set her down nice and easy right here. So if you look, this is what I'm controlling here. So pulling back makes you go up. Pushing down makes you go down. So that's why I reversed it on my throttle. The access on my throttle so that it would mimic that movement, and before I was doing it the opposite direction, so I'm having to relearn now. As of about an hour or two ago, I switched it, so you get trained one way and you have to retrain yourself. But I should just... Come on. Oh, damn. I bumped it. Okay, we're... all this to pick up a box. Usually, right now, I'm using the games software. You know, basically, DCS World has really good joystick support. So, they support, you know, pretty much, I don't know how many joysticks, but what I do here is you have all three of my joysticks, which include the pedals, the throttle, and the joystick. They can be mapped it detects all the buttons, everything to do with the joysticks. So that's different than a lot of games, because a lot of games, they'll only like detect one specific joystick, for example. And for example, in Elite Dangerous, let me slow up here. Okay. So in Elite Dangerous, I actually use the joysticks software. First, I load up a profile in that, and then I load up Elite Dangerous and map everything to that profile. Basically, what it does is it presents one joystick to Elite Dangerous, and then I can easily map all the buttons in Elite, for example. Now, DCS World, though, it just detects all your joysticks and has the interface to map. Oh, that's not good. I'm missing a skid. Let me slow this baby down. I think, yeah, that's what happens when you bump into the... Yeah, no problem. Yeah, the DCS World has awesome joystick support. Elite, Dangerous, I use a specific profile that I've made that combines keyboard, it has some keyboard shortcuts, and then also some light gimmicks. And then, but it presents one joystick to Elite Dangerous then, and that's all Elite sees is just that one joystick. Let me yeah, I'm gonna need some ground support here. Ground crew.
Request repair.
They didn't help me out. They'll help me out here in a second as I shut this thing down. So that's what you're not supposed to do, folks, is tear your skid off. There used to be a skid there. So now let me try to request ground crew. Come repair.
Request repair.
Man, they're not helping me out today.
Request repair. Copy.
There we go. Copy. That's what I was waiting for. Yeah, the Thrustmaster software can be. It's not bad. I've dealt with Cytec software. I've dealt with Thrustmaster software, and I actually started off with the GUI, graphical user interface version of the software. I mapped a whole bunch of things, and then it actually created a script. And then I took that script and I put it into the script editor, and then manually added my own things, extra features and stuff that I pulled from other people's scripts. And so now I have a script that it just runs, and it combines. Actually, it basically just combines the joystick and the throttle in the one joystick, and presents that to Elite Dangerous. So I gotta wait 130 seconds for repair. 120 for repair. It's kind of cool. In VR, you feel like you could just step out right outside that door, just walk right out. And one thing nice I do like about DCS World is, yeah, I don't have to load up that software or do any kind of customization from my own software. I can do it all within DCS. Has its own profile, and you can export and back up your settings and so forth. Now I could make a custom profile, but I'm not that advanced yet. And with DCS World, each aircraft gets its own custom settings and joystick settings. So it would be much more complicated doing it with the custom profiles. In fact, I can show you why I'm waiting for repair here. Whoa. Wrong button. All right. So as you can see here, this is just for the Huey in sim mode, they call it. You have access to all of these things, all of these extra, here's everything. So you can see you can map so much stuff. and it detects joystick. You can see here it's got joystick, that's my joystick, throttle, and then my pedals, and then over there's mouse. So it detects all of those individually, so you can assign under each you can assign a button, a command, whatever you want. So that's way more. Oh, I'm getting lifted up here, getting repaired. So that's way more advanced than most games do. The worst game to deal with joysticks is Grand Theft Auto. I have a setup I used to do. I haven't done it in a while, and it takes some tweaking to do it. Where I'd have a gamepad for walking around. I'd have a joystick and throttle for flying, and then I would have a steering wheel for driving and pedals. And I would have all of these things set up, and you have to present it to Grand Theft Auto as one joystick. And so there's like some Xbox 360 emulator thing that you can combine all of these joysticks into a single, representing a single Xbox controller to the game. Very complicated, very hard to get configured. Yeah, for DCS, I highly recommend not using the software. Just try it within the game itself. I always try every game I try to use without using like the X52 or the Thrustmaster software. I try to do it that way first, but some games they just not built very well for that. Especially nowadays with ports and stuff being released for consoles, they make the joystick support basically they're just trying to support a gamepad, and then the PC side of things gets like, especially the Battlefield games, anything like any of the Battlefield games, Battlefront, all of those games, they like basically make it so, oh, you're just going to be using a gamepad. They don't really add on, they just don't make any support for joysticks and especially joysticks and throttles. So everything's made for a gamepad anymore. So you got to so those kinds of games, you end up having to use your software to make work correctly. Well, looks like they fixed up my helicopter here. Yeah, I got a skid again. All right, let's start this thing up. Can't reach my door. Oh well, I'm pretty sure the auto start sequence closes the door anyway. I think a lot of the PC joystick support problem, I think that comes down to DirectX. I think there's a lot of, Microsoft wanted everything to be DirectX and the Xbox controllers and make it simple that way. And unfortunately, it left us who like to have more joysticks, more buttons, it left us behind a little bit. But DCS World did it right. It's so loud with the doors open. Yep, it does shut the doors automatically. All right. This guy over here to my left, he's no help at all. All right, let's see if I can start doing this again. Ah, I'm so not used to the throttle. Hey, what happened to my box? Oh, man. I must have broke it. Either that or it just bugged out and disappeared. Alright, then we'll get another box. So it appears, one thing, I'm going to rotate this slowly. So what happens is when you request these boxes, they show up at your 12 o'clock. So I really don't want it showing up over there by those poles. So F10. Again, we're going to CT. Oh, that's not it. It's kind of hard hitting the keyboard buttons when you got your eyes blindfolded. So F10, F4. Okay, nope. Okay, A crates, that's what I want. F2, alright. And we're just going to go to a stinger for the first time. And then, I'm pretty sure you have to do this. You have to tag which one you're picking up. So everything knows that that's the one you're picking up. So my goal, I'm going to just take it real easy here. Oh, I got it hooked. Now lifting it up. First step. That's one of the hardest. That's actually the second hardest. The hardest is actually dropping it without breaking it. Without breaking it or breaking the helicopter. So you can see now I got the box and it's swinging around because I'm moving around too much. So I gotta watch the ball and try to keep this thing steady. And then also this right here is my vertical, oh geez. Oh, somebody's landing. My vertical speed. I want to keep that vertical speed when I'm moving very steady. And that vertical speed, I'm going to take this over here. That vertical speed is what you need to watch when you're bringing it down, because if you come down too fast, it just smashes into the ground and breaks, and then you have to do it all over again. And that really sucks when you're trying to do like the ones that require 3. So let's see what we can do here. I'm getting kind of high up in the air here. I'm gonna and again, you can see my speed right here. I'm gonna try to bring that down without falling down too much, because you can get into your the wash of your helicopter. This thing can bring you down, and I'm coming down too fast here. Okay. If you come down too fast, you end up losing lift. It's like you hit a vortex, and it just basically, you have your propellers can't grab any air, your blades, and you drop like a rock. Ah, see? Cargo damaged, cargo crashed. Came down too fast. or was swinging around too much. That just sucks. Because now I got to go back and get another one. My my record is I've gotten, I think, about 4 of these things, start to finish, picked it up and back. That's from all day yesterday, and I didn't get a chance to do any today with the Vive because I couldn't stand the HTC Vive's setting. It was very bad visuals for me. Coming in a little hot. Come on. Still getting used to my throttle. No rush. It's a good day for flying. Slow down. Overshot. We'll just try this one. It's the joy of having all these helipads open. You can just pick a different one. There we go. I'm not moving as much now. Oh, see? I pulled the throttle back to kill it instead of pushing it forward. And took off again. Okay. A lot of area right here. We can do this. So again, F10. I think that's F4, F2, F1. And then F6, F1. All right, practice makes perfect.
Let's go, people. They ain't paying us by the hour. Let's go, head them out.
I don't mind doing it as long as I don't crash. Crashing sucks. Damn. Every once in a while I think I'm just gonna nail it. You know, do awesome. Just hover right over it. Then I just drift by it. God, see, I keep pulling back. I'm just going all out here. Just trying to slow and steady. Slow up. Cargo hooked. So this thing pulling this big box here, and this one's a light one. This is probably the lightest one they have. And it's just swinging around down there, and it just pulls your helicopter. It makes it bob around. So from what I gather and what I've experienced, what you want to do is come to a complete stop and just hover in place and let that thing stop swinging around so much. Like, even if it's just so it's all about watching these gauges. Because like right now, I know that thing's swinging around. I can feel it. And it's just like, it's like a yo-yo, you know? You're trying to get it to steady, not rock so much, all while trying to keep this helicopter steady as hell. Oh, that didn't sound good. Oh, that's this jet taking off right next to us. Kicked in his afterburner. I'm drifting over to that runway. I want to drift back this way a little bit. Now I'm moving forward again. Okay, so nice and easy. Come on, don't. So when you get to a stop, that's when it starts to it starts to rotate one way or the other, and you gotta compensate with pedals. And like right now, I'm drifting backwards. Just need to keep it nice. Slowly nudge. See, I just tapped my throttle down just barely, and it started to drop. Oh, Jesus. Okay. So, I'm definitely not keeping that cargo steady, because that was my cargo that almost came up in front of my helicopter.
I'm getting radar warnings.
I'm trying to look out my window. Damn, that thing's still swinging. I just saw it come up front again. What the hell? My God, that thing is just swinging like crazy. I gotta see this from the outside. What the hell? Yeah. It was swinging around too much and the line broke. Well, that's disappointing. It ain't easy. It's actually, I hear, one of the hardest things to do in the game, so. Oh! That was not pretty at all. I don't know how I'm still flying. I pushed down instead of pulling back. I have no idea how this helicopter's still flying. Yep, I broke a skid too. Damn. Don't try that at home, or do. That's swear to. Let's see what she looks like from the outside.
Springfield 1-1.
Oh.
Or takeoff.
Yep. I'm missing some pieces here. That's not good. Oops. Oh, she's busted up. Oh, look at that. I have no idea how that thing was not done. That's the most damaged helicopter I've been able to actually land. It shattered everything. That's another cool thing about it. I do like the damage models on DCS. It's something I wish was in Elite Dangerous. Like the only damage model I know of is the Anaconda. And Elite Dangerous has the damaged busted metal and twisted up metal and stuff. But this has all the damage. You can see all the damage. All right, let's get back in and request repair. I love that. Just how it just comes to a stop. So cool. Most games you get in and they just spin up in like seconds and you don't get the realistic feel. All right. Ground crew, yeah, I'm gonna need a ground crew here. And
Request repair. Copy.
yeah, copy. Oh. Let's see how this looks for you guys. Yeah, so you guys can see the holes. The cool thing about in VR, that's 3D. I mean, I literally feel like I can take my hand and put my arm right through, like right here, what I'm showing. And if I look, I'll switch it to the room view here. So right here for me, my hand would be going through that hole in the windshield. That's how in VR it's in 3D like that. And the distance right here is where that windshield's at and what that hole is. I'd be sticking my fist through the windshield right there. So that's something that doesn't translate well over the 2D image that you get, in VR. So yeah, this whole windshield is one layer and, the doors out there. So that's something that I didn't expect with VR when I got it, was the 3D aspect of it, the three-dimensional. And that's actually probably the one thing that's kept me using VR versus not, going with higher resolution, is because of the immersive 3D aspect of it. And I hate 3D. I'm a person who hates 3D movies. So, but in games where in VR, it's a completely different experience. So let's see, 80 seconds for repair, 70 seconds. These guys are good at repairing my stuff. The dash is all wore down. I have a key or a trigger mapped on my joystick so that I can zoom in on things, and it makes it easier to read items and to zoom in and see things. So like engine oil, hoist, cut cable. Huh. Yeah. Luckily, all those can be mapped to a joystick. You don't have to reach down and flip those switches and do those things. So there's the navcom. It's good stuff. Oh, 10 seconds. Here we go. Look at these guys. Look at them lifting my helicopter up. Boom. I got skids again. Oh, look at all the damage is gone. Setting it back down. Looks good. Boom. Aircraft repair finished. Okay. Round, I think this is 3. Check fuel quantity. Really? I'm out of fuel? That's interesting. Alright, ground crew. Wow, I must have leaked fuel. That's pretty cool. Just to know that it can actually do that with damage. So, that crash, I must have punctured my fuel tanks and it was leaking. Luckily, I didn't explode. And it was leaking all over. So now I need fuel.
Request refueling. Request rearming.
Oh, I accidentally put weapons
Copy.
on. Oh well. You can hear it. That's funny. I've never ran out of fuel. Because I always crash probably before that happens. And fuel actually lasts pretty long in this game compared to what you would think. But unless you puncture your fuel tank, then you're in trouble. Oh well. Basically, that crate.
We haven't been keeping up on current events, but we just got our asses kicked, pal.
There's a few good voice clips that are great for when you're flying helicopters. Like,
Get to the chopper.
you know, you can't beat Arnold for that. And then later on in the movie, he's
Get to the chopper.
Refueling complete.
all right. Chopper's ready. Refueling's done. Hey, we're doing weapons, but I don't need those, so I'm just gonna start this thing up now. Must be a bug. I can't close the door after a repair. Oh, there's a gun just showed up outside. Oh, Gatling
Rearming
guns.
complete.
So those are on both sides now, along with rockets. Let me see if I can stick my head all the way out. You can see the rockets. Back there. So the joy of VR is you can literally stick your head out the window and look. You see the skids, the light. I'm only limited by the physical objects around me. I could feel me hitting something. You can see it they put the ammos in for the Gatling guns on the side of the helicopter is stored back here. And I know you can actually get gunners too, side gunners. And they stick out the sides and you can set them, I haven't done it yet, but you can set them to automatic. And they'll like just shoot their guns at bad guys as you're flying by. You know, Vietnam movie style.
matter? The CIA got you pushing too many pencils?
Oh, door's shut. I was like, what? Sound just went away. All right, let's do this again. There's my crate. It's 110.25 pounds. Let's see if I can do it. What's sad is I've dropped like 2 of these crates so far, and when you realize after you deploy it that it's a guy with a Stinger missile, so basically they're splat. They hit the ground too hard. All right. Let's do this. That crate. Gotta lift it up. Got a shiny new shiny repaired helicopter, I should say. Oh. Slow and steady. Oh man, I looked up. Damn, I'm doing it again. I looked up and got disoriented. Slow down. Hang on, I need to get situated. Okay. Here we go. So, come in, slow her down. Man, I'm bouncing. Oh, there. Cargo hooked. Alright. I don't know how the hell I pulled that off. But I guarantee you it is swinging hard now.
Call key. Springfield 1-1. Or takeoff.
There it is. Actually, it's not swinging so bad. So maybe I just need to... Let me just take it right here and not try to fly over the other side of the airfield. See if I can just slow her down enough. Oh, don't go down that hard. I just feel like this is not good. Cargo unhooked. Cargo unhooked. Holy crap. I think we did it. Don't get too excited. I can't get cocky now. I gotta go down and land next to it and deploy it. There it is. I dropped the box. Okay. Now don't crash. Man. Rotate around. Nice and steady. Oh, a little tense. There we go. Oh. Damn, I did it again. go to cut the throttle, I pull back instead of push forward. Okay. Cool thing, you can just I can cycle that down. You know, just like in the movies. Just kind of sitting there idle. So here we go. We're gonna see it. This is F6. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Something F10, F4, and it's CTLD command. Unpack any crates that are nearby is what it's going to do. So here we go. Ready? And crash. It crashed, didn't it? Oh, man. Oh, you gotta be kidding. Took my moment, took my glory. Oh, you son of a... Oh. Damn it. All right, start it back up. I'm pretty sure it deployed it. I had this happen the other day. And when I deployed something, it crashed, but I went back in and it was there. And actually, now that I think of it, it was the same exact thing. It was the Stinger missile guy. It crashed the game. The other ones didn't. So maybe there's a bug with the Stinger missile guy that he crashes your game when you deploy him. Which is sad, but he's still there. So we'll get back in here. Okay. Multiplayer. So I get back in the same server. And he'll be deployed over just where I deployed him. So we'll be able to see him. We'll be able to see him, but we couldn't see it happen. The moment of him coming out of the crate. Stolen from me. Stolen. All right. All right, here we go. Start back up. See if I got door control. Yep. Boom, I can shut the door. Actually, that guy should be around here. Oh, no. Oh, sorry. He's over there. Two jets taking off at the same time. It's pretty cool when you hear their afterburners kick in. You hear that big pop. Well, let me get rid of this thing. There we go. Ah, man. Stolen. My moment. All right. Reset my master caution just because. I tell you what, funny thing to do. Where is this thing? If anybody remembers Star Trek 4, That's my nod to Star Trek 4 right there.
Request Caesar.
Getting dark. Go with the green light. It's just fun flipping switches. Bright on. So that's steady off or flash. Which one is it? Steady, flash. We'll do steady. So now they're steady. The lights on the side. There's other lights for a spotlight too, but I'll worry about that later. I don't know which one of these hundreds of buttons that is. Alright, let's go see if that guy's there, because otherwise I'm going to be really upset. More upset than I am right now. Because he stole my moment. He was on this other side of this bunker. I'm pretty sure that's where I was deploying him. I'm like, I need to deploy him right here. Oh, I see something. Oh, yeah. Look at this. Oh, shit. Oh, I'm still learning that throttle. Okay, let's try this again. I was trying to be all cool. Come right up on him. Man. That's kind of cool. Jet coming out too. Alright. Here we go. Look at that guy. I did that. That's funny. So he just seems all content and happy. Now it looks like over here there's a bug in the game so that like all my destroyed crates that I was trying to deliver earlier would just like crash to the ground and say they were destroyed, and I couldn't see them. Now I'm pretty sure other people in the game can see them, but I couldn't. They just disappear from me. So now all these crates that I've been trying to deliver are smashed, and I can see them since I got disconnected and had to reconnect. So I bet there's I know I had one go down there. And I'll bet you there's a bunch over here. Oh, there's one. I know I dropped at least two over here. They're all damaged and destroyed. There's one. Smashed into the ground. Oh yeah. There's another one smashed into the ground. But not that guy. That guy survived. And deployed despite crashing the game. So now what happens with these guys is they'll defend this base if like any aircraft come into the vicinity. That guy's got a Stinger air to or ground to air missile, and he can shoot at aircraft as they come over, enemy aircraft. I keep second guessing myself. Whew. Shut that alarm off. And what we want to do, give me more crates. Okay, so what I'm going to do is do an F7. Not close enough to... Oh, you gotta be kidding. So you can either go to that blue base or that little... Anywhere those towers are, you're supposed to be close enough to them to get a crate. And this helipad just... Where I'm at on this helipad just happens to be too far away. So I'm spinning up. Next time I won't spin down my blades, even though it sounds cool. Okay, got one. All cargoes. Okay, this big boy is 882 pounds. So, yeah, that's a lot. Let me see here. I'm going to turn on... No. It's navigation. I'm pretty sure. Sure, we got what does that say? Navigation position lights. I think that's just brightness. Lights. Yeah, there we go. Now we're talking. I can see things. What the hell's that? Oh, I know where it's at. It's right here. So, landing lights. Of course it'd be right there. Boom. Searchlight. On. Pretty sure you can do things like so I'm thinking there should be a searchlight on now, but we'll find out. I don't think it's working yet. Oh well. Let's just get over here. Cargo hooked. Jesus. I'm getting lucky. Again, I'm going to take it over here. So this one's heavier, so you can feel it. Don't want to rock. Come on. Nice and steady. God, those booms of the jets taking off. Slowly coming down. Oh, you gotta be kidding. That thing had to have been swinging around. Like I said, this is the best way to get practice landing and hovering. Oops. F6, F1. Now let's see if... Oh, I just saw something. Yeah, now I got a landing light. Man. Man. I'll get it. I think I have an easier time coming in from the right. Can't hook it this time. Hey. Take a ow. How's it going? Trying to pick up this box. It's being a little stubborn. Doing good. Finally got one, but I'm trying to get... This one requires 3, and I'm just trying to... Oh, cargo hooked. Got it that time. Oh, that's not what I want. It's definitely connected. Boy, it's hard to fly that way. Java, C. I also did a lot of web app development. So I used to do PHP, ASP, ASP.NET, and then oh crap. And then I was also a big Flash front-end developer, Adobe Flash, back before the HTML5 days, JavaScript, all the fun stuff. Now I fly virtual helicopters and try not to crash cargo into the ground. Though I did it. I did it. One down, 2 to go. There it is.
Request Caesar.
Depends. Depends if you're trying to get into a startup, or if you're trying to get into like somebody like Google, Apple. You know, those are hard, and you need, you know, they pick the best of the best. LinkedIn, actually, and LinkedIn's another one that's big here. And NVIDIA, they're all... It's so funny if you've never been here. All these big name companies that you hear of, you know, Apple, Google, NVIDIA, Huawei, Intel, Cisco. Like, for example, all of those are like 5 minutes away from each other. It's like... Or 15 minutes max. Everything's 15 minutes max away from each other. So it's kind of funny, like there's so much here, the big names, but then there's also tons of startups. Yeah, interesting. Cisco is like right next door. Like I could literally walk to Cisco. I run past Cisco and bike past Cisco all the time. They're all over here, but they're big campuses right in this area. And right across the street is an Intel office. And the Intel headquarters is actually just like 5 minutes away. And yeah, I moved to Silicon Valley 5 years ago. I was actually originally from the Midwest, from Nebraska. I work for myself. I've always worked for myself. And I've had several businesses, and I am now doing just this. This is my life, my business. I'm an entrepreneur, and I wanted to get into streaming, and I love games, so I started last year building all of this. As you can see, building all this setup, lights, everything, and just launched a month ago, or less than a month ago now. Just a couple of weeks ago, actually, before TwitchCon. And now I'm doing this full time, noon to 5 every day, plus Encore sessions and whenever I can fit them in, like tonight. And also weekends, varied hours, but yep. Not yet. I'd like to get to the point where I can take interns. That'd be great. But not yet. I've done all that. I've had companies, you know, where I've had employees and contracts. I've never had interns, but you know, interns. I've had. You can make your own internship too. That's what I did when I was growing up. You could say I had my own business, and that was my internship. I learned and got experience by doing and contracting out. Started with small businesses, got into mid-sized businesses, and eventually I was doing projects for Fortune 500 companies. So start somewhere. Just start. I started with friends and family when I was in high school. And actually before that. My first business was when I was about somewhere like 13, something like that. But I got into doing on-site computer service stuff when I was in high school. I'll tell you right now, the best thing ever is experience. And like the big companies like Google, I know for a fact they look at experience almost in some cases, depending on your level, they look at experience more than they do like the degree and the background. You can't, that's the one thing you can't get without doing is experience. You can find, I'm on Twitter. Follow me, direct message me if you want. And at Nerd Show and Tell. And yeah, I love taking questions. So I'll just say from me, I mean, this is, you guys, my school days were a long time ago now, but I was told, I was always into computers and, you know, did like talent and gifted stuff and like all the extra. I was getting college, I was a junior in college by the time I graduated high school, just because of all the extra. I was taking community college classes while I was in high school, and going through, everybody always thought, hey, and thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. Definitely also follow me on Twitter. That you can direct message me there or here, Twitch, YouTube, I'm all over. So Nerd Show and Tell. But yeah, everybody always told me I should do computer engineering because that was like the top thing. Everybody said, oh, you should do computer engineering. So I literally, that's what I focused on. And I did all the math, got through, you know, Calc 2, physics, all that stuff. I hated it. I hated engineering. I hated computer engineering where you're designing computer chips. And I ended up I'm like, I was still doing all my side stuff. Now, I paid for my college doing on-site service work and consulting, and also I had some online services. Back then, it was bulletin boards, and later became ISPs for dial-up ISPs. I had those companies that I started, and basically, I found that there was not the job I wanted wasn't really out there because I liked it all. And as a consultant, I was able to take pieces from each field and bring them all together. And also, I like public speaking. I like, obviously I like talking. So I was able, and I can do sales. I used to take a lot of jobs that had nothing to do with my field, so I could get skills. Like I worked at UPS. I learned how inventory management. I actually ended up developing inventory management software later in my life, and a lot of that experience came from working at UPS and knowing how tracking packages, organization, all that stuff. And I did a lot of summertime jobs. I did telemarketing, and telemarketing helped me talk on the phone and do my sales pitches. And so I became a better consultant, and by learning that skill of sales and applying it to my field later on. So just always be on the lookout for things that may not be exactly in your field, but could help you build a skill that will benefit your field later on. All right, now I gotta remember what the heck I was doing here. All right. Oh. F10, F3, F2, F7. F6. F1. Closest one, yep.
Good to see you again, old friend.
All right, here we go. We're going to try this again. Oh yeah, it would definitely. The thing about being an intern at the big companies is basically once you're an intern there, you meet all the people, you network, you do a good job. You have an in at getting into that company, and yeah, so the interns at the big companies definitely don't suck, and neither, but. Don't be discouraged if you don't get into one of those. Try for anything else.
Radar contact. Closing fast.
And there's a lot of smaller companies that do internships, and that's great experience too. Like startups, try for the best, but don't be discouraged and apply to all of them. I mean, then if you get a pick, great. Wow, that guy is hauling. Well, I know people. But, yeah. Work on that, work on the experience and the job, just work on that experience. And if you have an internship at one of these companies, I'll be happy to look over a resume or whatever you're trying to apply for. Cargo hooked. All right. Oh, easy. All I know is right now I will never be able to get a job hauling cargo in a Huey helicopter. But I might be able to build what I'm trying to build here today. Coming down way too fast. Slow. Slower. Slow. Keep an eye on that vertical speed. Cargo unhooked. All right, that's 2. Oh, you're in the EU. All right. Yeah, good to meet you too. Yeah. Google, Facebook, they're in the EU too. But I know some interns who came from from the EU. And people who got jobs here from the EU. Yeah. Well, they can all work. I know people who started, for example, like at offices in the over there, and then immediately got positions here. All right. Have a good night. Keep in touch. Thanks for the follow. And on that note, I have 2 out of the 3, so just need 1 more. Oh man, all right. Son of a... Thanks. Thank you. That happens once in a while. It's like running your stream with a blindfold on. Actually, I should make an app. Actually, that gives me an idea. I'll make something that maybe will tell me what my display is on inside these games. Oh, that's not good. Down pilot 1192 is killed in action. It's sad. All right, number 3. Getting warm in here. I'm gonna tell Google my Google Home to change the temperature in here. All right. I muted that part so that I didn't set off everybody else's if somebody's listening. Come on, hook. Must be drifting forward.
Request Caesar.
Let's try this. There we are, hovering above. Oh, it's being stubborn again. Make it a different approach. Come in now, nice and steady. I said nice and steady. Lined up. Man. Somebody clipped this thing on already. Oh, what the heck? Boo. Boo. What? What?
It can only be attributable to human error. This sort of thing has cropped up before, and it has always been due to human error.
That server died. Oh man, that means I'm gonna... Yeah. The server was dropped connection or it died. Which means all my little boxes are gonna disappear. Yeah, I did. I like the Rift better. At least for simulation games. It's clear, it doesn't have that distant shimmering effect as much as the Vive did. And I just couldn't get the settings right. I'm using the same exact settings now with DCS 1.5 and 2, and it's much smoother with this. And but I did change my my throttle. I flipped it, and now I'm having to learn it all over again, but at least I'll be legit. Yeah, it's kind of like the same experience I had with Elite. Is the text by default? I mean, you just put this thing on, the text starting it up for the first time after using the Vive all day. I was like, oh wow, the text was much clearer. It wasn't as, it was easy to read, and there just wasn't that distant shimmering effect. So yeah, I did two things. I reflipped my throttle though, and also got DCS, the Twitch chat into DCS. So I can see now my Twitch chat. And I was having a really good time dropping crates and building stuff. I was going to build a nice little Humvee with some AA on it, and the server crashed. So that just stinks a little bit. And that's really the only server I've ever been on. So it's like the only thing I really know what to do with the multiplayer stuff. Anytime I've seen this happen before, it usually comes back within like a few minutes. But, yeah, I'm still no clue what some of these, mission types. From what I understand, some of them have different mods or scripts. And of course, some of them are locked. Any... Well, I guess we see what this is. All right. Oh, that's a lot of A10s. Oh, P51, that's tempting, but Jesus. Why not? Haha. Parts of the manual. This thing is tripping out. Let go of my mouse. There we go. Takes long. It takes us some time to read a manual. I gotta find that time. I'm too busy playing. Yeah. Yeah, I will I was busy testing the Vive today, and then I decided to go back to the Rift. So my next thing will be Chuck's guides. But I am getting more familiar with everything, with at least the Huey. I've just kind of stuck with the Huey. And I was having fun getting crates and building crates. Hey, similar stuff here. All right. Ooh. Okay, I gotta go to logistics. Where the hell's the logistics? There it is. Maybe. Wipers. Just because I like flipping switches. I did get my DCS chat, or my Twitch chat in DCS, so I'm happy with that. Got it up here. And, swap this back. I also did some DCS 2.0 today, flying around Vegas. That was fun. It was good. I was having fun. I just flew the Huey around, did some free flight. Nothing major. But it was good. One thing about I like doing these right now, I like doing these little cargo box things because it really helps me practice my hover and control. So here we go. This looks like a nice place. I can get a crate. Oh, frames per second. With the Vive, I was having some problems, but after some tuning, it was good. But I also then used similar settings with the Rift and came back, and everything was really smooth. I was happy. It was 45 solid. And then it would go to 90s, in the 90s most of the time, but 45 was the lowest, which is, I don't have any problems with that. Point this way. Yeah, there's something with the Vive. Well, the Vive takes... I think it's a lot to do with the text, the way the text, just the view, and the lenses of the Vive. Wait. So you got to crank up that aliasing. You got to crank that up, and when I would do that, then the frames per second would drop. It was just... I was able to get a better visual out of the Rift with a little lower settings than I was with the Vive. Yeah, definitely, like, one of the things I noticed on the Vive, I really wanted it to work too, because I really like the new deluxe audio strap of the Vive, but I I do notice the weight difference, and I noticed one of the biggest things was I was flying the Huey. Just okay, yeah. So I was flying the Huey, and I was flying over the airport, and you know you have planes that are just sitting there on the ground, so it's some jets. So I would just like glance at them as you fly by. How you can lock, you know, with the VR, you can just look at something, and as you fly by, you can just watch it. And with the Vive, it was like the refresh rate wasn't there. It was like it was ghosting a lot more than when I did it with the Rift. And it was really noticeable with the Vive when I was doing it. It was just like ghosting. And it's kind of like if you it's weird because every game's different. And there's things I love the Vive for, and there's obviously now things I love the Rift for. Out of the box, I love the Rift for Elite Dangerous and now DCS World. Yeah, it's just, it was really, it was like, yeah, it was ghosting, like, kind of like something, you know, the effect of something moving really fast. It was just blurred is a proper term, but, and it just blurred out. But with the Rift using the same exact settings, it was clear and smooth. So that was just one of the big ones. But even just one of the easiest tests was just starting up the game. And in DCS World, when you start the game, turn that alarm off. When you start the game, there's that text down at the bottom that says something about intellectual property, blah, blah, blah. It's really small white text. Default settings, or just the settings I have, the same exact settings actually with the Vive, you could barely read that. When I put the Rift on and started the game up, I immediately noticed I could read it clearly without a problem. Like, just boom. So it's certain things with the, and I think it's just the way the lenses are on the Vive that make it hard to, the real fine lines, like the hairline graphics, they shimmer too much. Like I get a little bit of shimmer of this in the distance, but I can look out like there's a smokestack way out in the distance there. And there was like in Vegas, there was an aircraft carrier or aircraft hangar, and with the Vive, it was shimmering. It was doing the shimmer effect, but with the Rift, it didn't. So, yeah. So I'm back to the Rift for DCS. And it's just one of those things that I love the new deluxe audio strap for the Vive, and I love the frame of view, but I'm probably just going to use it. There's certain games it works really well with, but like room scale games it works awesome with, especially it's just certain games do text and visuals differently. Like simulators are, I definitely feel like the edge is the Rift on the simulator stuff. Let's see if this works. Yeah, all right. I got a crate. So basically the best of both worlds is if you have both, because you get now if I was just doing simulators, so for an average person, you know, the average person who's just going to buy one or is teetering on it, if I do simulators, and DCS, Elite, those kinds of things, I would say go Rift. If you want to do room scale as well, and you want to do a whole bunch of different variety of games, and you want the best overall experience, I'd go Vive. So, but sit down game simulation, I'm Rift. Yeah, the 8K headset, I hear it has a problem with the refresh rate stuff, and just the technology of it. You know, you're going to need to get. Yeah, you're going to need some serious graphics power in order to ever get the benefits of the 8K headset. So, for the next year, I don't see it being there, but in 2 years, yeah, I think we'll be there. But not yet. And it's Kickstarter stuff. I have a hard time getting involved. I don't like to usually get behind them, and I like to let them get out of that whole Kickstarter phase. All right, here we go. If it gets, you know, as it gets more polished, as things get more polished, if I like to wait till it'll probably hit retail before I probably won't be a first adopter of the 8K stuff. I just want quality. I think a better lower resolution quality screen. All right, hooked. Whoa, get up. Damn. I knew that was happening. Yeah. But the good news is we have some good stuff to tie us over until that stuff comes. I mean, I'm definitely never going. I could never play, for example, this game. I could never not play it in VR. I have to play it in VR now. And same thing with Elite. Every once in a while, you know, I got a new gaming monitor and I pulled up Elite on that, and wow, it looked great, but it didn't have the depth, the field of view, and the scale, sense of scale, and the depth that I'm used to with VR. So it doesn't get much use but for first-person shooters. Can't believe I'm not over this. The heck is it? I bet I have to. I bet I lost my tracking since I picked it up and dropped it. Yeah. Ugh. That's gonna hurt. Yeah, I've been itching to use my Vive again, and today with this, it just was the wrong fit for me. But I definitely I've been wanting to get back and do my room scale stuff, and Space Pirate Trainer is one of my favorite games. And for the Vive. Well, I got this thing, now what? Yeah. It's, you know, I every once in a while, you know, I'll watch somebody stream and they're playing, you know, without VR, and I'm like, oh, that looks sharp, that's clean, you know, 60 frames per second, 4K or whatever the heck they're doing a video of it, and then I'll be like, yeah, but I always go back to VR. It's just the scale. The ships feel so much bigger. And I demonstrated earlier tonight, I had busted up my helicopter here, and I had a hole in my windshield. And I was demonstrating, like, me sticking my arm through that hole. You know, it's like, that's one thing that doesn't translate well over stream or video, is the 2-dimension. It's 3 dimensions in VR. And that just... Hey, Krios8572, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it.
It's to the land of opportunity.
I'm sure I didn't get that name right. Kyrios. Oh, I'm dropping way too fast. Come on. Practice makes perfect. At first, it was like, oh, I can't pick these things up, and then I can pick them up, and now I'm like, nah, how the hell do I drop them gently? Just like that. But don't pull back so hard that you really tick off the blades of the helicopter. Yep, there it is. On the ground. One down. I just realized it's 10 o'clock. My time. Nice. That's not good. What happened? I may have ticked off my machine. Killed myself, it said. Please capture the airport. Oh man, you gotta be kidding. That sucks. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, tell me about it. I broke my machine. Well, actually, I should stop for the night. I hate to do that. I'm having too much fun. Well, maybe I'll just fly around here real quick. I should stop. But it's so nice out. Well, let's see here. Looks like some interesting terrain. Yeah, I agree. It's hard to go to bed after try going right to sleep after playing a video game in general. It's like, oh man, I'm all hyped up, excited. Especially if you're doing really good. Or not even that, if you're just into it, you're figuring stuff out. Man. There we go. She's up. Oh, what the? My throttle was already set to full, and I moved it, and it went nuts. That's nice. Alright, I'll just do a quick fly around and then I'll have to call it, but yeah. Nope. Oh, that guy's having a bad day. You know, you see a bridge. It's that I gotta go under it instinct. But apparently the water was closer than it appeared. Oh well. I'll find a bridge to go under eventually. Let me go ahead and Basically, you see a bridge and you just go.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Hey, you too. Take it easy. I'm going to end my stream here on that note. We'll see you around. Come back soon. I'm here every day. I will read that manual eventually. Soon. Ah, thanks a lot. Good man, 24. If you add it all up, it could be expensive. Let me kill this real quick. So, you just, the key is to build it over time. This setup I started about a little over a year ago. Complete, you know, the office, the lights, all of that. And then the chair was the last piece, which is the centerpiece. You can see all the parts and pieces and everything in my Twitch profile. Under the About section, I have it all broke out. What's all here. And the chair, a bunch of extra pictures. If you click on the picture of the chair, links off to a photo album of all the different angles of the chair. So I'm here. Thanks for following my stream. And I'm here Monday through Friday, noon to 5 Pacific time. Then I do encore sessions like this where I go later into the evening for me. And then also on weekends, I'm miscellaneous time. But I think I'll be doing another encore, be around this time tomorrow night as well, because I have a bunch of friends who are playing DCS, and I think I'll meet up with them, or I don't know, it's Friday night. I'll be playing games. So so I'll be here again probably tomorrow night in an encore session, probably even going later than tonight, because tonight's 10 o'clock here, my time, 10:12, and great, yeah. Just give me a follow me on Twitter, whatever. I announce all the time when I'm streaming. So thanks for stopping by. And on that note, everybody else, I am going to close down the stream. So everybody have a good night, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
Here's to the land of opportunity.